JoJoJo, hello, hello, hello. And can I just call you Joe from now on? Otherwise, that's going to be rather tedious for you if I keep doing that. I'm guessing your name is Joe. It might not be. It doesn't matter at all. You didn't win the auction yesterday, and I don't know. You are probably out gallivanting, terrorizing shop assistants. I don't know. Possibly working. I don't know. And excuse me, sorry. I am still intrigued as to what your project may have been. And I've learned a few lessons too from that first auction. I had thought that I had developed an unusual and liberating immunity from embarrassment. But I've just watched the video that I made again. No way. I'm not doing those. It was not for the reason that springs to mind, but purely because I have become so grotesquely obese. It's just horrifying. And I'm very, very relieved that you didn't win, and I didn't subject you to that. Although I still don't know what specifically you had in mind, if it was by any chance for one of Britain's premier pop divas. Then you have certainly saved me from treble, quadruple, infinitesimal. No, that's the wrong word, isn't it? Well, a lot of humiliation, and for that I am grateful. There was a bit of a confusion at the end of the auction, so I did award the prize to somebody else, and well, let's just say she hasn't blocked me so far. She's been perfectly nice about it, but I've seen it, and no, not good. So you're lucky. Oh, sorry, I am not fluent at the moment. It's 6 a.m. Maybe you're up already. Maybe it's now that you begin your massive and incident-packed journey from wherever you live to the metropolis. I hope today's journey is free of perverted guards and their absolutely filthy wives. Jeez. So, I did have something coherent to say. Well, it probably wouldn't have been coherent. I did have a coherent thought to communicate. Whether it would have been communicated coherently is less likely. Oh yeah. Having learnt how not to do a video sign pick, I would, of course, well, not of course, I would be, however, be delighted to fulfill the special or silly request that you may have had. I'm not doing myself any favours at the moment, am I? Oh, God. Right, Coffee, stop yawning. It's very rude to yawn at people. I'm not yawning at you, you know that, don't you? And I am. I don't know. I was as a sort of a way of compensating you. Although I don't. There's no sort of moral or legal reason to compensate you because I didn't, for once, do anything wrong particularly as far as you are concerned. I'm just feeling randomly creative. Well, that's an exaggeration. I'm certainly feeling random. And I'm just going to read something to you in the hope that it may give you some comfort as you put up with astronomical rail fares, inadequate seating, truculent and perverted guards, and and everything else that Network Southeast can throw at you. And I do remember that it can throw a lot at you, at everyone, because I used to live in, I suppose, what one could call Metroland, right on the outskirts of the Metropolitan line, and I used to actually get the train rather than the Metropolitan line because it was ostensibly quicker. Frequently wasn't. And I did grow to like the tube as a refuge from train travel. That kind of inspired me to actually just read something train related to you, because I quite like reading. I really do. I discover things about books, about myself, sometimes about the people I'm reading to, sometimes not. That's really not important. So, Metroland, yes, I'm not going to read Julian Barnes. I am going to read the Poet Laureate of Metroland, Sir John. And I have been doing a lot of these, a lot of Betjeman for people. Just this second done one for oh yeah, I've just this second done one for Birdley. I do apologise to her. Sorry. And I've done one for Azra as well, and she's very bravely tackling all sorts of English literature. She not started off, but she has communicated a desire to hear To the Lighthouse, which is fucking impossible, even for English speakers. So that's causing my brain to spin because it's so interesting and so revealing. And the fact that somebody whose first language is not English is persevering with material like that makes me admire her even more. I do admire her a lot. Right, I'm getting all Betjeman-esque about her, I guess. Sad old bugger, suddenly smitten by the grace and elegance of of a young madam was no, sorry, a young madam. God, she is not a madam. Of a young lady in her prime, and that, of course, is incentive to read Betjeman to you. Did I already do that? I can't remember. Yes, I did. God. Right. Okay, I'm just going to read, shut up, and get the fuck off this thing. And the Betjeman that I've decided to do for you today. Yes. Is called simply The Metropolitan Railway. Subtitle Baker Street Station Buffet. Early electric. With what radiant hope men formed this many-branched electrolia. Twisted the flex around the iron rope and let the dazzling vacuum globes hang clear. And then with hearts the rich contrivance filled of copper, beaten by the Bromsgrove Guild. Early electric, sit you down and see, mid this fine woodwork and smell of dinner, a stained glass windmill and a pot of tea, and sepia views of leafy lanes in Pinner. Then visualize far down the shining lines your parents' homestead set in the murmuring pines. Smoothly from Harrow, passing Preston Road, they saw the last green fields and misty sky. At Neasden watched a workman's train unload, and, with the morning villas sliding by, they felt so sure on their electric trip that youth and progress were in partnership. And all that day, in murky London wall, the thought of Ruislip kept him warm inside. At Farringdon, that lunch hour, at a stall, he bought a dozen plants of London pride, while she in arclit Oxford Street adrift soared through the sails by safe hydraulic lift. Early electric. Maybe even here they met that evening at 6:15 beneath the hearts of this electroleer, and caught the first non-stop to Willesden Green, then out and on through Rayner's Lane to autumn-scented Middlesex again. Cancer has killed him. Heart is killing her. Trees are down. An Odeon flashes fire where stood their villa by the murmuring fir. And when they would for their children's good conspire, of their loves and hopes on hurrying feet, thou art the worn memorial, Baker Street. And I made, well, for a start, I was terrible at the rhythm of that, really. And if anything deserves respect for its rhythm, it's a poem about a railway, and I was bloody awful. I do apologise. Oh yeah, at least one Freudian slip. When I said pints of London pride, it should have been plants of London pride. I didn't know there was a plant called London pride. And that really was very evocative of the area, which I know well. And of course, being Betjeman, it ends with a sting in the tail. I didn't really read that well enough to communicate the shock of the final stanza. Sorry. So I'll read the next poem as well, if you're not already bored and switching off, which I do know a bit better, and it's simply called, it's just typical Betjeman, isn't it? The depredations of life and the dualism between body and soul. Late flowering lust. My head is bald, my breath is bad, unshaven is my chin. I have not now the joys I had when I was young in sin. I run my fingers down your dress with brandy certain aim, and you respond to my caress, and maybe feel the same. But I've a picture of my own on this reunion night, wherein two skeletons are shown to hold each other tight. Dark sockets look on emptiness, which once was loving-eyed. The mouth that opens for a kiss has got no tongue inside. I cling to you, inflamed with fear, as now you cling to me. I feel how frail you are, my dear, and wonder what will be. A week or 20 years remain, and then what kind of death? A losing fight with frightful pain, or a gasping fight for breath? Too long we let our bodies cling, we cannot hide disgust at all the thoughts that in us spring from this late flowering lust. And if you weren't depressed before that, I'm pretty certain you will be now, so I'll bugger off. Have a day, well, I don't know when you'll see this, have a day stroke night, whatever, completely free from eyeless sockets and tongueless mouths and everything. Thanks, Joe. Bye-bye.